I'm a writer, and here are some dialogue tips that might help you with your own writing. First and foremost, please use the word said, okay? Said is a perfectly valid dialogue tag. It is unobscure and, unless you use it to a staggering degree, invisible. Action tags can hold just as much weight as dialogue tags. So if you're writing, not every single line of dialogue needs to be followed by a he said, she said, or preceded by it. In fact, a lot of times if you follow it with an action or precede it with an action, most usually actions come before words unless there's a specific line of events that you have to follow, it can actually have more impact on the scene itself, the feeling that the words are trying to evoke. I've mentioned this a lot in my videos, but voices, making sure to have distinctive voices for different characters. This one is probably a little more obvious. Not every character should talk the same way in their dialogue. Most should not. I've come across a lot of dialogue that feels super rushed because there isn't enough prose or descriptions, filler, I guess I would say, but it's not in a derogatory way, in between the tags, in between the words themselves to draw out the scene. And so something that is supposed to hold a lot of weight feels glanced over because it's rushed. Be cautious of writing different speech. I'm not going to say improper because sometimes it's an accent or, well, I guess broken English would technically be improper because it's not perfect grammar. Be cautious of writing out that, or even like if you're writing a fantasy book with somebody without a proper education talking and you want it to be very obvious that they don't speak with proper English, be very careful of writing that out phonetically because it can often be hard to get through and slow down the reader. And lastly, this is something I myself am trying to get better at. I'm a very fast-paced writer, so I tend to breeze through things often, and then in editing I have to go back and really chunk it up. But don't be afraid to write out a very long dialogue. I'm talking like an entire page, half a page, multiple paragraphs of straight dialogue. As long as it is engaging, as long as it is relevant, it's totally fine. Let me know if these helped. Let me know in the comments of any more tips for writing dialogue. There are plenty more that I never even touched on.